So it's day 15, we're in El Hierro. We don't depart here until later this evening. What have we got planned for today, Jules?
We're doing sort of the top of the north of the island, so Pozo de las Calcosas, which is a village we've got to take a footpath down to a village, thatched roofs and Neptune.
Oh, okay.
Then we're going to see the Garun del Viento to understand how the wind farm and the lake works to create energy.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to that bit. I've been reading up about it and I understand how it all works now as well.
And then we're going for lunch at the Mirador La Peña, which was done by César Manrique.
Brilliant, so another Manrique installation.
And then we've got to find out what this thing is.
Yeah, I know. So we've been passing this every day since we've been here. Well, every day, we've only been here a day and a half, but we've passed this several times and we keep looking at it and wondering what the heck it is. So I'll show you the front face of it here and then we'll explain it. Quite weird, isn't it? Just at the side of the road. And it's a sculpture, and it was created by an artist as a sort of homage to sustainability and also
the Bajada de la Virgin, isn't it?
Yeah, where they take the Virgin down to the sea, is that right? Presumably Virgin del Carmen. And it's actually made up of, the recycling bit is made up of basically tons and tons of scrap metal. So it's full of fridges and bits of cars and stuff like that. And this board kind of shows it. So that was what was inside it. This is the artist creating it in 2009. This is what it looks like from above. And it's really quite fascinating and a little bit weird, I think. What do you think, Jules?
Yeah, well, it catches the eye, doesn't it? And it's one way to recycle.
It's true. All right, let's move on. This is the Pozos del Calcosas, sorry, thank you, Julie. Pozo means wells, and those are little charcos, little natural swimming pools. You can see some people swimming in them there. I love the way the lava has spread out and cooled there in that sort of interesting pattern. Now this village was one that the fishermen built in olden times, and they would spend the summer in their house, kind of summer house down there, and then go fishing in this area and salt the fish and preserve them and take them back up home to sustain the family for the winter. It looks like it's kind of being restored now, is that right, Julie?
I think so. I mean, now it's just like a holiday village, isn't it? So it's traditional thatched roof buildings.
Okay, and we can see some guys working on one of the cobbled streets down there. We were thinking about going down, but it's a very steep path and it's quite a long way from this viewpoint. One of the other attractions was a statue of Neptune down there, which is, we can't see unfortunately, but it's by the same artist as the
white one we've just been to, which I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, so we decided we wouldn't bother with that.
Reuben something.
I know you're probably not going to hear any of this, so I'm just going to show you this reservoir, and then we're going to move to another location while I explain what it does, because it's really quite clever. And here we are at the other end of the installation, and I'm going to turn my back to the wind a minute while I explain it to you. So we showed you the reservoir at the top. Now, El Hierro is striving to become the first Canary Island, one of the first places in the world that runs completely on sustainable energy. And this is part of that. What you're looking at now in the center of the frame is a massive water pipe. At the bottom of that, there is a reservoir. That water pipe goes all the way up the hill to the reservoir we showed you in the first sequence. And here comes the wind again. And here's what happens. These wind turbines run all day long, although there's one not running at the moment. But there are times when they're producing more electricity than the island needs. And whenever there's a surplus of electricity, they pump water from the lower reservoir up that pipe to the top reservoir. And then when the wind drops or the island's electricity demand is higher than the windmills can provide, the water comes back down underneath where we're standing now through some hydro turbines that generate electricity completely free of charge, effectively, and with no carbon footprint and no use of oil. They've currently got to the point where they're around 50% sustainable, so they can run for some time in periods of low electricity demand without needing any of the usual oil-powered power stations. And this whole setup runs the desalination plant as well. So it's very clever, and possibly something for the future of all the islands. So we are in Mirador La Peña, which was designed by César Manrique, and it's got all the classic Manrique touches. Absolutely beautiful place. We've just been talking to Jose Carlos, the waiter. We told him that we live in the same street that César Manrique had his house, and he was very complimentary about the man's works and everything he's done across the islands. Just look at this view now. This is through the glass, obviously, but there's an outside area, and you can see the cloud there that seems to be on all these very high islands. And there's a restaurant here, and as it's our last day in El Hierro, we're treating ourselves to a meal here. Julie's already sat at the table.
The best table.
The best table in the house, right in front of that view. We've had an excellent meal there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I'm going to have a look outside now. So that was celebrating 100 years, or what would have been the 100th birthday of César Manrique. There's a Drago tree here. This was built in 1989, so only a couple of years before Manrique died. It followed Mirador del Rio. More Dragos. And you can go and have a full-blown gastronomic meal, or you can have a coffee and cakes and stuff like that. There's a souvenir shop in there. And if you just want to go and have a look, you can just go in and have a look. And there's the view. So we're going to call that a wrap from El Hierro. We're off to the airport shortly to get our flight back to Tenerife, and we'll be spending a couple of days in Santa Cruz over there, so more video to come for you.